I'm Larry Coleman. Today, we're on location. Today I'm going to be spending some time going into the details of a couple of the tracks that I have recently released, talk about their significance to me, and what the songs actually mean. The first song I'm going to introduce to everybody is called Superfly. It is a single that I released a couple of songs ago. It came out last summer. It's still doing very well for me, but let's get into a little bit of what the song is actually about and the meaning behind the song itself. So Superfly. Today I'll be reading some of the lyrics the same way that I wrote them and talking about the way that I craft a rhyme. The art of a rhyme, the way you deliver a rhyme, how you come up with rhymes. The things that artists don't really talk about that often, but is so important to the longevity of our business and what we're doing exactly. Go. This is K-Dot mixed with J-I-D. Accumulation of the things that's always been depriving me. Society. And everybody on my block, they know I'm pissed. Always raise a rebel yell for all my cats that's in a cell. So double up. It ain't never about the show and tell. I showed my pride to everyone and acted like an only son. The block was hot, I stole a gun. Got even dog with everyone. Moving down from featherweight to heavyweight, my time is done. I made the charts without a record deal to leave them stunned. Counterculture, always fighting back until I'm feeling numb. Hit the pussy till my eyes is crossed and then I'm going dumb. 100 features in a month, of course you know I am the one. Peter Parker in this bitch, I got the spider senses done. I came cause there was work to do. Y'all came to try to have some fun. That's 50,000 in a crate. I came to war with more than guns. The song Superfly is a song that I wrote right after I got done with an entire album, and I wanted to make it personal. So the song Superfly is actually going to be about myself and all of the things that make me exactly what the song title is. So to start out, I'm just going to go through the verses a little bit. For the first verse of Superfly. First of all, I wanted to just let everybody know that my inspiration for the song was a lot of the artists that I get compared to often. I think as independent artists, as artists in general, a lot of our goal is to separate ourselves from everybody else, to be different, to be original, to make art in the exact way that you see it the first time that you heard it. So Superfly is about some of those comparisons that I get on the internet a lot. A lot of the people that, a lot of the comments that are coming in on Instagram and SoundCloud and things like that. So it's my declaration of why I'm different than everybody else. So let's start. The song Superfly starts off with a verse where I say, "This is K-Dot mixed with J-I-D, an accumulation of the things that's always been depriving me." What I mean in that line is, first of all, to be compared to Kendrick Lamar is absolutely ridiculous. Definitely an honor. I think everybody would agree with that. But at the same time, I am my own self. So I started out with the ones that I hear the most often, right? That at least on the internet. By verse 2, I'm going into the ways that I'm compared to other artists locally and the way that I'm compared to artists internationally. So that line exactly is specifically talks about how often, because I'm a conscious artist, because I like to say something meaningful, I get compared to Kendrick Lamar. I think that it's a mistake, but it happens. Now, the JID comparison to the analysis is I think because it's the vibe of my music and the way that it makes an artist feel. A listener feel. Our job as artists is to give you a feeling, to paint a picture that wasn't there before we introduced you to our song or introduced you to our heart. So, the feel of my music, I guess, often is compared to JID, who's a successful rapper. So I don't get mad about any of these. It was just my declaration of who I am. Let me continue on with the line. I say, "This is K-Dot mixed with JID, an accumulation of the things that's always been depriving me. In society, and everybody on my block, they know I'm pissed, and always raise a rebel yell for all my cats that's in a cell." Now, for people that know where I grew up, I don't really have to explain too much of this, but a lot of people are in jail. Not just once or twice, but they're probably going to spend a lot of their adulthood there. Growing up in Michigan, growing up in low economy areas, I think too many of us have lost people to street violence, to charges, to incrimination and things that probably need to be taken care of by the legislature and people in position to make those differences. So for me, when I started off this track, giving people a piece of what I want to be branded as, it was important that I brought my home with me. To move on, I tell cats to double up. Rest in peace, the great Nipsey Hussle. Because it's never about the show and tell, that I show my pride to everyone and act just like an only son. When the block is hot, I stole a gun, and I got even with everyone. Moving down from featherweight to heavyweight, my time is done. That is just another reflection of a conscious bar. Saying that I'm doing my job by making sure that I say something impactful, something with great meaning, something that I can leave behind in a legacy manner and be proud that I made. So I think about that often. And that song, that line specifically, is exactly it. It's basically my introduction to hip hop is the similarity to stealing a gun and getting even with everybody. It is the only way that I can fight back in a society that probably isn't too tolerant of people making decisions. So, moving on. Instrumental shifts a little bit over this beautiful bass played by Nate Diaz. He's an EDM producer out of Sacramento. I say, I made the charts without a record deal to leave them stunned. Counterculture, always fighting back until my fingers numb. And that's from writing so many bars. That line specifically is about my independent artistry. I cannot stop rapping about it. I know I need to stop rapping about it, but I absolutely cannot, as a lot of this journey is just being up against record labels that own playlists and really push certain artists, and definitely try to omit artists that are local or regional or are making music with their friends. So a half of the song too, in a braggadocious way. One, I'm taking back who I am, and in a braggadocious way, I'm letting people know what I'm actually going to do over the course of this year and next year and the following year with my music. Most people that have met me know that my energy is probably my best weapon. Of course, the next line, I get into it and I talk about that I'm the Peter Parker in this bitch and that I got spider senses. I came because there was work to do. You came to try to have some fun. With 50,000 in a crate, I came to war with more than guns. That line's super significant because a lot of artists and a lot of people that are starting a business, in general, it doesn't matter what it is, they ask me how much money you need to start. And I always tell everybody it depends on how serious you are about your business, how serious you are about your craft. But for me, the number was $50,000. I needed $50,000 roughly to invest into my music over the course of 2 years. It's $25,000 each to really get my word out there, to let people know what I'm doing, to let people know that I'm special. And it's that Yellow Wolf and Hops and Mix. Me and Diaz on an instrumental getting lit. We doing numbers in the gym like we was getting fit. Studying classics that way one day we could make a hit. To give a shit about the people that's less fortunate. If fire builds a champion, it's obvious I'm fortunate. These corny cats, they make me laugh. I'm spitting flame and throwing gas. Fanboys want to mention me, I'll let it go, I'm showing class. My inner monologue says whip his ass and finish fast. Roll him over quickly, pluck his wallet, head that razor glass. Destructive when I'm dropping bombs, I leave him with the aftermath. And cats that talk about the way I flow, they just omit the facts and sell my soul to Interscope. You make me laugh, I'd rather pass. And all you average rappers in this bitch, you cannot tell me jack. I'm getting paid like every day in capital, you gave me flack. So let me recap. First verse starts in on K-Dot mixed with JID. Obviously, it's all an honor, but I get tired of hearing these things like everybody else. So I start the next verse off with this. This is that Yellow Wolf and Hops and Mix. And me and Diaz on an instrumental getting lit. Let me break down that line a little bit. Once upon a time in 2020, I had my first major record deal meeting. I had a meeting with Atlantic Records. They actually came to me. They came to me after I streamed about 100,000 on 2 songs specifically. Had a great meeting with some really cool people, with some outstanding individuals, and at the end of the meeting, what they told me is that I was very Hobson. They said, in fact, that I was too much like Hobson for an Atlantic record deal. With hindsight being 2020, I realized that I was at a meeting that I probably wasn't entirely ready for, but I felt like I needed to be ready. So to put myself through it and make sure I was battle tested, I sat down with Atlantic Records and they told me I was too Hobson, and I couldn't wait to put that in a song because Hobson, in my opinion, is one of the most respected and most cognitive, most profound writers in hip hop, and I really admire him. Okay, moving forward. Then I talk about how we made the charts, and I said that we're doing numbers in the gym just like we're getting fit. We're studying classics, that way one day we could make a hit. And give a shit about the people that's less fortunate. If fire builds a champion, it's obvious I'm forged in it. What I mean in that, for sure, is all the struggles in my life have definitely made me the artist that I am. I rap about the struggle, I talk about the struggle, I lecture about the struggle, I tell my friends about the struggle. I try to relate to as many people as I can. I don't know if it's for everybody, but it's certainly my place in this world. My relationships with other people, they are the reason I'm here. They're the reason that any of this is possible. My relationships with other people are the most important thing to me. So I wanted to make sure I got that in the song that I describe as entirely braggadocious. It's super important to me. So then I break it down a little bit different. I give them the B side of the tape. In my head, when I'm writing a bar, I always want to show them contrast from verse 1 to verse 2 to verse 3 and try to make sure that I'm giving everybody the same feel but in a different way. So this is what I say about the other side of what I'm doing. I say these corny cats, they make me laugh. I'm spitting flame and throwing gas. Fanboys want to mention me, I let it go, I'm showing class. When you're out here making noise, you're moving, you're proprieting your own music, it's often you're going to have a lot of haters. It does not matter as long as you don't lose your purpose. Your purpose is the reason why you were an artist from the first place. And I think it's important to note that you should never compare your purpose to somebody else's purpose. That's when you will definitely lose your own way. So I'm talking about these people that talk about me on the internet, people that are shocked when I break independent charts, people that are shocked that I'm as well respected as a white artist as I am. For me, it was always going to be exactly what it was because I knew what I was working with. So I think it's important to note, and even in the track, I have to just let a lot of these things go as they're not important to what I'm trying to accomplish. So my inner monologue says whip his ass and finish fast, roll him over quickly, pluck his wallet, and then raise a glass. Destructive on him dropping bombs that I leave him with the aftermath. Cats that are talking about the way I flow, they just omit the facts. For example, spend a lot of time donating my time to homeless, people in recovery programs, and I don't ask for awards or accreditation for this, but this is what I believe an artist should do with their platform and exactly what I've been doing before I was an artist. This is an Eminem at home with Royce. I'm moving people like the drugs, and so I use my voice. You use a pistol, you've got knowledge, so you've made a choice to be the best with heavy burdens on the chest. I'm flipping bars because I finally found the sport in it. With Diaz on the track, and you can bet your ass I'm torching it. I'm deeper than the ocean on the bottom where I'm snorkeling. I built my rep by moving weight, accounting straight up folding in. Driving through the city, kinda nervous with the Folgers 10. Dump a body, no discretion, never knew how cold it was. 10 and 2, my elbows locked, pretending to ignore the fuzz with half a buzz. Pockets kinda chubby with the coldest cash. Grab the safe and grab the Wraith and put 100 on the dash. In the third verse of the song, I talk about my comparisons that I get back at home a lot because a lot of times people see the pie in the sky and they think that you're going to be the next celebrity or whatever. So the third verse, I start off with, this is that Eminem at home with Royce. And everybody knows where I'm from. That I'm moving people like they're drugs, so I use my voice. You use a pistol, so you've got knowledge and you've made a choice. And I'm talking about specifically to one city being very, very, very murder friendly, being very gun violent. I don't really have to get into the details, but everybody knows that if you're from Michigan, it's a common sense that you can handle a gun, and you're probably carrying one too. So then I get back into the part of what I'm doing about it, the contrast. I'm flipping bars because I finally found the sport in it. With Diaz on a track, and you can bet your ass I'm torching it. Then I tell them that I'm deeper than the ocean on the bottom where I'm snorkeling, and I built my rep by moving weight, accounting straight up folding in. Driving through the city, kind of nervous in a Folgers tin, with a Folgers tin. My point with that again is to not discredit anybody's hustle and daily grind. When you make it up out of a city like Detroit, there's a chance that you have a similar template for exactly what you did, right? Whether it's dribbling a basketball, putting together a business plan, and talking your friends into helping you execute it. That third verse was definitely specifically for my fans, specifically for people who I knew would hear this track. When I end the song, I chose to talk about just kind of how everybody will always talk about you, and it's a good thing. And I think that there's a lot to say about controlling the narrative or message, specifically with your music or with whatever point you're trying to convey. My final braggadocious bar is about how, as an individual, I'm able to say exactly what I want, do exactly what I want, and I've never had to jeopardize my brand as an artist. I've never had to sign a deal that I didn't want to do. I've never had to work with somebody I didn't want to do. I never had to make an appearance for somebody that I didn't want to do. And, you know, it's similar to that relationship building. It is the single most important thing for my longevity and the single most important thing. I'm Larry Coleman 2020. The song is called Superfly. It's on all streaming devices, very personal to me, important for my brand, and I'm on location today with Mosley Media.
Accumulation of the things that's always been depriving me. Society and everybody on my block, they know I'm pissed. Always raising rebel, yeah, for all my cats that's in the cell. Double up, it ain't ever about to show and tell. Show my pride to everyone and acted like an only son. The block is hot, I stole the gun, not even dog with everyone. Moving down to featherweight, from heavyweight, my time is done. I made the charge without a record deal to leave him stunned. Counterculture, always fighting back until I'm feeling numb. Hit the pussy till my eyes is crossed and then I'm going dumb. 100 features in a month, of course you know I am the one. Peter Parker in this bitch, I got my spider senses done. Came cause there was work to do, you came to try to have some fun. 50,000 in a crate, I came to war with more than guns. This the Yellow Wolf and Hops and Mix. Me and Diaz on an instrumental getting lit. We're doing numbers in the gym like we was getting fit. Studying classics, that way one day we can make a hit. To give a shit about the people that's fortunate. If fire builds a champion, it's obvious unfortunate. These corny cats that make me laugh, I'm spitting flame and throwing gas. Fanboys wanna mention me, I let it go, I'm showing class. My inner monologue says whip his ass and finish fast. Roll him over quickly, pluck his wallet and then raise a glass. Destructive when I'm dropping bombs, I leave them with the aftermath. Cats that talk about the way I folded, just omit the facts. Sell my soul to Interscope, you make me laugh, I'd rather pass. All you average rappers in this bitch, you cannot tell me jack. I'm getting paid like every day in capital, you gave me flat. Is that Eminem at home with Royce? I'm moving people like the drugs and so I use my voice. You use a pistol, you got knowledge so you've made a choice to be the best, with heavy burdens on the chest. I'm flipping bars because I finally found the sport in it. With Diaz on a track and you can bet your ass I'm torching it. I'm deeper than the ocean, how the bottom where I'm snorkeling. Pet my rep, I move away, accountant straight up folded in. Travel through the city, kinda nervous with the Folgers tin. Top of body, no discretion, never knew how cold it was. Cannon to my elbows locked, pretending to ignore the fuzz. With half a buzz, pockets kinda chubby with the coldest cash. Grab the safe and grab the Wraith and put 100 on the dash.